Kelley Hurley, yet another NAC final for you. Tell me, did you also take a long break, and I guess by break I mean complete absence from fencing since Rio, like your sister?
Yeah, so our event at the Olympics was the first to go off, and I have not touched a blade since. And actually coming to this NAC, do my blades even work? No, I haven't even looked at them. I haven't even looked at my stuff.
Hadn't even opened the bag since.
Yeah, I hadn't opened the bag. Yeah, my dad had to open it because he had to check all my stuff, but before that I hadn't touched it. And I was worried I wouldn't even fit into my pants. I do, so that's the good news. But we actually had a demo in Houston last weekend. So we had to do some lunges. I did maybe like 4 deep lunges because Andre had to like explain the stance. And I was so sore the next day. I was like, legitimately sore. So I'm not looking forward to tomorrow.
Now, walk me through this. This wasn't like a soft tournament by any means. You still had all the top fencers here, and I asked your sister the same thing. How did the two of you, given your break from the sport, come into this and still perform?
You know, I've always heard that thing about, first day back phenomenon, and I really thought that we were maybe not a part of that whole thing, just because fencing, it's so mental and so physical. I mean, you can't just be on physically to be on mentally too. So that's hard to do. And I, especially in the pool, after the pool, Tori and I both did kind of pooping in pools. It was a rough warm-up, and so I was not super positive about how the day would work out. But then, like, right after pools, it couldn't have really gotten any better. Courtney was on one side of the brackets, I was on the other side, which is like something we always strive for, and hardly ever happens. Because we usually have to fence each other earlier on. That's always a pain, because then one of us isn't going to make the finals. So we're both on opposite sides, and we both just keep drawing people that we were able to beat. I mean, it really was like a dream NAC. If only it had happened leading up to the Olympics instead of right after. That's just how it works. But yeah, it was still, everyone was here. It was a tough NAC. I saw some really tough bouts out there, and my first girl was like 6'3" and 13 years old, and people are getting taller.
Yeah, and you speak to the strength. You had fellow Olympian in Kat Holmes. You had fellow world team member in Tropic, and then oh, she wasn't. Oh, sorry, I saw her in the
she was registered.
registration.
She didn't show up, as far as I know, anyways.
But then you had also like the 5, 6, 7, 8 fencers also competing. So how did you adjust your fencing to be able to protect against taking only 4 lunges and feeling exhausted?
Well, I knew that I would be relying on strategy and just overall experience. I mean, I've been fencing for like almost 20 years. Everyone here is like 14. I mean, on that alone, I'm able to get as far as I am. And I mean, there was definitely a few matches where I had to pick up the tempo a little bit. And I was like, I cannot keep this up for any more touches. I knew that if it came to that, me having to move like I usually do, I would not make it. But fortunately, it didn't really come to that. My point was really on, and I was able to just like really close the distance, so I didn't have to attack so far or so hard. Yeah,
and were you still trying to attack, or were you relying more on like counterattacks?
Both. I was still trying to attack. It's just my nature. I like to try and attack, but I knew that I probably shouldn't, because like I said, those 4 long lunges I did in the demo really made me sore. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be bad.
And here, were you trying in any way to avoid lunging and just beat people with the blade?
Yeah, like I said, my main strategy was to get really close and make people nervous. When people get really close, they get nervous and they try stuff. So really, I mean, my counter game was on point today. And every now and then I was sneaking a little lunge because I was so close. I should try that more often.
And as far as like your freshness coming into today, did you feel that it inhibited you in any way, taking such time off?
I mean, I thought it would, just because my game relies so heavily on conditioning, strength and conditioning, and I obviously don't have that. I've been running and swimming, but it's not the same.
Nothing fencing specific?
It's not the same, yeah, nothing fencing specific. So really, today was 100, like almost, I don't know, it was very much weighted on my strategy.
The mentality.
Strategy, just over. I mean, I just have so many years of experience.
Definitely. But now, I guess in closing, the one thing, was it familiarity in your opponent? Obviously, your sister, someone you've fenced thousands of times. Or was it like just the pressure that's no longer present from qualification and the games being behind you that led to what looked like a very casual final with the two of you?
We fenced each other so much, and we're not going to do any sort of crazy kamikaze moves against each other in the final where it doesn't really matter who wins. Maybe if it was leading up to the Olympics and one of us really needed points, then it would be a much more intense match. But I'm not about to pull a hamstring trying to, destroy my sister in a gold medal that isn't really weighted for anything. So, I mean, and not only that, but the last few matches were really tough for me because I have like 3 blisters on my toes, and it was really tough to move. So that was probably the hardest part, was it was really painful actually. But like I said, it really didn't matter who won this one, and we fenced each other we can know each other like the back of our hands. It's like fencing sort of a mirror reflection. And it's usually always close, and it's usually 50-50. People always ask us who's better. Like, it really is 50-50. It really is. Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations on the silver finish. I think they're waiting for you at the podium.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.